Please raise your right hand. Do you, Michael Fischer, solemnly and sincerely promise and swear that you will administer the office of President of the Atlanta Realtors Association to the best of your ability and judgment in conformity with the Constitution and bylaws, that you will observe and enforce the Code of Ethics to the National Association of Realtors, that you will uphold and support the Georgia Real Estate Commission in the enforcement of the license law, that you will, in all your acts, be governed by the principles of honesty, justice, and fair play, and in every manner possible endeavor to promote and safeguard the best interest of our state, the high purposes of our association, and the welfare of its membership. Do you so agree to serve? And if so, please say, I do. Great. You may lower your hand, and by the virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I do hereby proclaim you duly installed as the 98th President of the Atlanta Realtors Association.
So I have on my list here, good morning, but good afternoon. First of all, I just want to say how thankful I am for this opportunity. The Realtor Association has meant so much to me in my career. In taking notes and getting ready for this event today, I thought back to when I first got licensed, which was 2010, and if you'll remember, 2010, the recession was in high swing. I got licensed in Athens, and everybody thought I was absolutely crazy. I think my own family thought I was too. But we got involved, and I started selling, and I started kind of making the thing work. And in 2012, I met a girl, and she kind of pulled me into Atlanta like a tractor beam. And later married her, and that's another story for another day. But I found my first brokerage here, and my first broker was Scott Askew. He's in the back of the room. And Scott told me, and we had lots of conversations, and he said, you know, if you want to get involved and you want to better yourself, come to the Atlanta Realtors Association. It was the board back then. He said, get involved with the board. So I did. And let me tell you, if there's a lesson for all y'all emerging leaders, if a mentor tells you to do something, do it. So I listened to Scott, and I got involved, and it started a 10-year journey that's led to this day today. So thank you again for that, and Scott, thank you for nudging me in the right direction here. Before I go any further, I do want to thank Karen Hatcher, our 2022 president. Karen and I, our journey started in 2014, and despite what everybody else says, 2014 is continues to be the best emerging leader class ever. I just want to say 1, 2, 3, 4 presidents in a row, and Kelly's coming next year, so 5 in a row. So try and beat that, y'all. Second best class is 2019, and I chaired that class too, so I got the 2 best ones here. But Karen, you've been such an inspiration for so many people. You've been a friend to me, you've been a mentor, and we are better as an organization for your work. So thank you again for everything you did. I wouldn't be here if I didn't thank my family. My beautiful wife, Jen, she has been through this entire journey with me. I got licensed, and about 3 or 4 days later, Jen and I met, and the rest is history from there. So she kind of has been through this entire journey of 12 years with me, and I am so grateful for the support and courage that you bring to us. You've probably heard my daughters, and if you haven't heard them, you've seen them on social media, but Ella's here with us, and I don't know if I should say there's a sleeping baby in the back of the room, because I might lose all of y'all, but Josephine is in the back. My mom is back there, Dawn, my dad's here, Klaus. Of course, I wouldn't be here without them. Hi, Ella. My little sister's here taking care of Ella and her boyfriend, Justin. You know, it takes a village. Nobody does anything on their own, and I wouldn't be here without their support. So over the last couple of years, we've talked about the challenges that we've overcome, and you know, who would have thought a global pandemic would enter our industry And not only that, that we would thrive out of it. Our membership has grown. You heard earlier, over 14,000 members. I mean, that is unbelievable. When I got involved, we were on 7,000 members. So we've doubled in the last decade. And I can speak for everybody in the leadership team. We have never grown for the sake of growing. We grow because we provide excellence to our members, and we are the association for Atlanta. And so as we go forward, the question I ask today is not whether or not we're too big or too small, but how well do we serve our members? Do we give them the resources that they need to have a great career in real estate, a dignified career in real estate? And what we do well, we're going to continue to push forward. And where we don't do well, we're not going to be afraid to ask those questions and be agile in addressing those issues for our members. We are absolutely critical to this industry, and it's about the members. So let's talk about 2023. 2023 is going to be about y'all. And not just you in this room, it's going to be about the people that are out there working right now. It's going to be about the members. It's going to be about sharing stories about our members. And what I'm most excited about is not getting to represent you all as president this year. It's that I get to work with this amazing leadership team that we've got. And so I have the pleasure of introducing our leadership team, and I've gotten to know them very well. I've known some of these people 20 plus years. Some of them came through the Emerging Leaders program with me. Others have come through the Emerging Leaders program that I coach. But I have a video prepared, and this is going to get you an introduction.
Michael Fischer here, your 2023 Atlanta Realtors President. It's with great pleasure that I'm excited to introduce our 2023 Atlanta Realtors Executive Team. They represent a dynamic group ready to serve our members in the year ahead. Your 2023 leadership team is as follows. Carolyn Garrett, Vice President of Professional Excellence. I first met Carolyn in 2019 when she was a member of the Emerging Leaders class. While instructing that group, I got to know Carolyn very well. She loves to paint in her free time, practicing abstract expressionism. And before big meetings or interviews, Carolyn has been known to practice power poses to give her super strength. Carolyn is dedicated to our members and to our industry, and I'm excited to see her bring that energy to the Atlanta Realtors in 2019. Angel Creighton, your Vice President of Community Relations. Angel is a Grady baby, born and raised here in Atlanta, Georgia. She's a top producing realtor and recently opened her own West Midtown real estate office. I met Angel in the 2019 Emerging Leaders class, and I immediately saw her leadership skills and big personality illuminate the room. Angel loves to travel and loves dancing to live music. Whether it's philanthropy or her passion for entrepreneurship, she's always helping those around her. I'm excited to see Angel continue her service to our organization as a Vice President next year. Quinn Arnaud, our Vice President of Member Services. Quinn grew up in Gwinnett County and now lives in Grant Park with his family and beloved English Bulldog. I met Quinn in 2003 as a freshman at the University of Georgia and have cherished our friendship ever since. Quinn has served our executive team for 3 years and was our 2021 Realtor of the Year. In his free time, Quinn enjoys concerts, watching the Georgia Bulldogs play in Athens, and traveling with his family. Quinn is a rigorous defender of the Realtor brand and loves helping others identify and grow their skills. I'm excited to have his support and wisdom on our leadership team next year. Christopher Matos Rogers, Vice President of Advocacy. Christopher was born in Tucker, Georgia, but spent several years of his childhood in Germany. I've known Chris since 2016, and I've always been impressed with his desire to learn and ask great questions. In his free time, he enjoys socializing with his friends and family, traveling, and figuring out ways to make his home a little bit more sustainable. Chris is a champion for equal rights and opportunities and is a tireless advocate for our foster care system here in Georgia. I look forward to Chris bringing his energy and heart to our members in the coming year. Kelly Thrash, 2023 President-elect. Kelly was born in Orlando, Florida, and grew up in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Kelly and I have known each other since we met in the 2014 Emerging Leaders class. She's a diehard Alabama football fan, but we're not going to hold that against her. Kelly loves spending time with her dogs and seeking adventures with friends. Loved ones always talk about her big heart, and she's even been known to help turtles cross busy intersections when they're in need. I've always been impressed with Kelly's poise, class, and kindness. She's a huge asset to our organization and will serve our members well this year and in the future as our 2024 president. Bill Murray, my presidential appointee to the executive committee. Bill was born and raised in Atlanta, 6 blocks from where he lives now. Mr. Buckhead, as he's known in many circles, loves to garden and entertain at his home. Bill has served our membership as the 2018 president. He has supported a number of charitable causes over the years, benefiting children in our community. He's one of the best dressed people I've ever met, and once told me, "Michael, I've got shoes older than you." I've always admired Bill's demeanor, strength, and of course, his sense of humor. He never hesitates to stand up for what's right and is a great listener. I look forward to having his expertise and knowledge on our leadership team next year. Karen Hatcher, our immediate past president. I've known Karen since 2014 when we served in the Emerging Leaders program together. During her term as president, we set new highs for membership, raised a record amount of money for RPAC, and passed many critical initiatives to move our organization forward. Karen has received a number of industry honors and accolades and is one of the hardest working, most authentic people I know in our industry. Karen founded a successful boutique company, and it's been a pleasure to watch her success over the years. I'm excited to have her on the executive team again next year so she can continue to share her skill set and network with our members. Thank you for your trust. Your 2023 executive team is excited to serve our industry next year. We are at your service, and we're looking forward to a great year ahead.
How amazing is that group, right? I mean, I'm so lucky to be able to serve with these people. And my confidence in going into next year is 100% because the team that we've got around them. We're well set for today, tomorrow, and the future. So over the next 12 months, as you get to know me, we're going to start sharing stories. I think about this article that I read, and what they talk about is people's opinions of realtors in the marketplace. And they ask us, as a group, what do we do well? How favorable are we? And I always get a little depressed because realtors as a group, we're like down here. People don't think that highly of us as a group. And I get furious about that because we work so dang hard for our clients. And we're tireless defenders of property rights, and people just don't know what we do. But if you change one word in that question and you ask people, what do you think of your realtor? Satisfaction's through the roof. People love the person that they did business with. They saw how hard you worked. They see how hard you list and sell and try and figure out things. And that's always brought me a lot of curiosity and a lot of faith in our industry. And I think the individual is rated so highly because they see us. They see us the 24/7, 365. They know our story. They know it personally, right? And so as we go into next year, my goal for us is to share our story as an organization with our members and with the public and with the consumer. And so I'm excited to announce that we're going to launch this program today with a hashtag. Remember, I'm 37, so we're going to use hashtags in here somewhere. Our hashtag is going to be showing our work. In 2023, Atlanta Realtors are showing their work, showing our work. Now, what does that mean? I'm going to talk a little bit about this. But throughout the year, you're going to have opportunities to demonstrate this hashtag showing our work, and we're going to feature our members. I know we've been talking about this guy a lot, but I'm going to show you a little bit about how we're going to use this hashtag. I'm going to talk about Manny Racinas again. And I had this whole thing I was going to talk about, and then you got 4 awards, and then you graduated, and then you got all this stuff. So I won't go through his whole resume. Just trust me, he's dynamic. But wherever Manny goes, he talks about La Familia. Did I do that right? Okay, sweet. And Manny brings everybody into La Familia. And it's just been great to get to know him. And he's a leader. People follow him wherever he goes. And Manny is showing our work through leadership. So we're going to use this hashtag throughout the year to highlight our members and tell our story better. And we're going to amplify that message with our 14,000 members and the largest trade association here in the state of Georgia. And speaking of leadership, it's also my pleasure to announce our 2023 Emerging Leaders candidates. Let's get them up on the screen. Is anybody from the Emerging Leaders class here for the 2023? We have some. Please stand up and be recognized. This is the largest class that we have ever had. We have 33 members that have committed 1 year of work, and you can see this program works. The association's investing in you, and we expect you to go out in the community and be leaders. Our 2023 Emerging Leaders class is demonstrating our hashtag showing our work through engagement. So as we work through the changing market in the coming years, I think everybody is feeling a little bit of a different market shift, right? And through that, in talking to a lot of members, there's a lot of concern. But I'm going to tell you, being uncomfortable is not a bad thing. Having to figure out new ways to work is not a bad thing. We often think about disruption as a bad thing. And I have a good friend of mine, Ron Phipps, he's a past NAR president, and he says, you know what? The fear of disruptors is nonsense. We are the disruptors. The realtors are the disruptors. For our entire history, if you think about it, from our code of ethics, shared data on MLSs, all the technology that we folded in, I don't think there's many other industries where somebody can be 40, 50, 60 years in the business and still sending e-sign contracts, right? Like, we adapt, and when we have challenges, we overcome them, and we innovate, and we disrupt. So as I conclude here, homeownership is the core of everything. It's the core of being an American. It's still the safest way to build security and wealth for families. And the numbers show it. Year after year, no matter what happens in the market, the consumer comes back to a realtor to trust them to guide them through the process. And so we're going to do that, and we're going to share our story in 2023 with our hashtag showing our work. As I said earlier, 97 members have served this association before me, and in talking with Scott, Scott asked me how old I was when I was, installation date, because Scott was the previous youngest president of our association, and he's actually was younger when he was installed. So I'm the second youngest, and he still got me beat on that front. But it's the pleasure and the life of a lifetime for me to serve our organization here today as your 98th president. I can tell you that our leadership team is engaged and dedicated and diverse, and we're ready to serve our memberships. And 2023, a lot of people are not as optimistic about it. It's going to be a good year, y'all. It's going to be an amazing year. We're going to do good work. We're going to tell our story. We're going to continue to be a trusted guide for people when they need real estate needs. I really appreciate everybody's support. Thank you so much for coming out today. And I think as my first order of business, I have one more award to give. So I'm going to ask Karen Hatcher to come back on stage, please, to join us. Let's give Karen one more hand. And again, thank you. Thank you. Karen is my first order of business as our 2023 president. It's my honor to present you the President's Award on behalf of our association. Thank you for your work next year. I look forward to having you on the leadership team again, and thank you for all that you've done.